Hey guys, what's up? The Force Awakens is not a Netflix movie.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
The Jedi is not a Netflix movie. The Force Awakens is also not a Netflix movie.
And we're going to talk about why The Force Awakens is a Netflix movie, Chris Stuckman.
Not a Netflix movie.
And why we don't like it.
And why we think it's overrated.
Yeah,
Lots
it's
of
mega
people seem to
overrated.
like it. It doesn't necessarily suck, but it's overrated.
The plot of The Force Awakens is one of my biggest issues with it. I know this when I first saw this movie, I actually thought it was the worst Star Wars movie because I was like, this is just like A New Hope. And I mean, obviously now I don't think it's the worst Star Wars movie.
No.
But it is very similar to A New Hope. And again, there's a giant thing that blows up planets. And even this time, it's even bigger.
They even point that out in the movie. They lampshade it, which lampshading in movies is where they point out their own like flaw or something like that to be like, haha, see?
This is crazy.
I know. It doesn't make any sense.
But it's like, okay, first time makes sense. Second time, kind of stupid, but hey, try it again. Third time, that's just plain stupid. It's like you didn't learn.
Yeah,
from the
and
first
it has.
times.
They built another critical weakness into it: the
Again,
thermal
the
oscillator.
Thermal oscillator. The thermal oscillator guy. That's probably the best guy. He's probably about as good as Infinity Comms from Halo 5.
Yeah, but anyway, that's a great transition into the characters.
Yay! Everybody loves the characters, right? Wrong.
They're fine.
They're not.
They're not amazing. I don't know why people like them so much. I mean, what is Rey's character in The Force Awakens? She's good.
She's a good girl who wants to help and pilot stuff. Who's Finn? A guy who wants to run away.
Yeah.
And who's Han Solo? Han Solo.
It seemed like they had something different going here for Finn, but then like the sequels kind of just abandoned that.
Yeah, it was weird, but like
But Finn's one issue I really have with Finn's character is that he never shows any remorse after turning from a stormtrooper. He just slaughters hundreds of stormtroopers and feels no remorse.
Yeah, he feels bad for killing like innocent people, and like he knows that stormtroopers are brainwashed. But because he's better than them and he knows that it's wrong, he makes he's allowed to kill them.
Yeah, it's like there could be such an interesting conflict there, but there isn't. And he just goes around slaughtering tons of stormtroopers with no remorse.
It's like, it's self-defense. Sure, but like you need to show some emotion in that. Yeah, you need
like
to
when
show
he
some
blows
remorse.
up all those guys in the hangar when he's running away with the TIE fighter.
He's just like, woo!
Yeah, woo! Let's blow up these people.
Yeah, because I'm so much better than
I
them.
used to work alongside with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm so much better than them because I realized I was wrong and stuff like that. But that's a huge issue with his character, and there's like, if you notice in this movie, there's just a bunch of little like tiny details that like kind of ruin the whole thing. Like for example, Han Solo and Leia, they got together and then they split up. Yeah. Why? Because they need to have another scene of them getting back together
some conflict.
again. Yeah, we need to have some conflict, and we need to have a scene of them getting back together again. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you guys go down in the little thingy. The droid stays with me. Why? I don't know. While they face two gangs, they're like, oh yeah, that BB unit. Well, the First Order's looking for it. That's the only reason why BB-8 is up there. There's no point in him being up there. Obviously, they should probably hide him.
But no, we need the plot to move.
We need the plot to move, so we need to have the droid be with Han Solo and Chewbacca, because it's just like R2-D2. Hey, look, guys, it's just like R2-D2. And we also need to move the plot along and show that the First Order sent out a signal and stuff like that. It's stupid.
And on rewatch, this movie is just incredibly boring and bland. Like, there's nothing that stands out about it. Say what you want about Last Jedi, but there's a lot of things that stand out about that movie. And there's, for better or worse, there's good parts and bad parts in our opinion. Mm-hmm. But at least there's things that are new, and they tried new stuff, and it seems very unique. But The Force Awakens just feels like a remaster of A New Hope with different characters.
Yeah, it feels like it just feels like a remaster, like the BioShock 1 remaster.
Yeah.
Like
the BioShock 1 remaster, it doesn't work.
The mouse sensitivity I was talking about. Let's see, I believe it's her. Yep, there we go. Game has crashed on me. Every time, 100%.
No, it doesn't work. It constantly crashes, but yeah, that's basically, it's just like a bad remaster. And they changed a few characters, like, who's Poe? Oh, Poe, that's basically Han Solo, except He's not. And then in episode 9, they had to reveal that Poe was a smuggler, just like Han Solo.
Yeah.
Wow, look at how much this is like Han Solo. Remember that from A New Hope? Also, for some reason, J.J. Abrams only thinks that A New Hope is the only Star Wars movie that exists. Like, constantly in his movies, he's doing stuff from, like, A New Hope and other stuff like that, and, like, Death Star lasers and characters who are smugglers who are now nice and stuff like that. But anyway, back to The Force Awakens. Yeah, this movie is just incredibly bland. They, like, at the very beginning, they need to, like, stop Kylo Ren, the big baddie, which Kylo Ren is great in Episode 8 and Episode 9. He's fantastic there.
He has almost no character in this movie.
Yeah, in this movie, he's just kind of a whiny brat. He's like, Wah! And starts like getting angry and slicing up stuff, which was only used for comedy. Like, there's that part where he like trashes like the one room, and then like the stormtroopers walk by, and then they walk away, and it's like, haha, see, it's funny.
Yeah, it's a little bit funny, but I don't know. It's just really dumb that your main villain is acting like that.
Mm-hmm. And like the son of Han Solo. Han Solo would probably not raise his son like that. He would be like, all right, you know what? You're gonna be a little whiny baby who freaks out whenever he doesn't get his way. But the main issue that I think I have with this movie ties into the boredom. It's that the characters almost have zero development.
Yeah, they're the same at the beginning as they were at the end. They're the same at the end as they were at the beginning. But like Finn, he seems like he's probably the best character in this movie, but he still doesn't really have anything to do.
No, he's just kind of like, I need to go after Rey.
And he doesn't have an arc. He's just... At the beginning, he just instantly becomes not a stormtrooper, and there's no conflict, there's nothing. He just becomes good.
And then he's like, oh man, I want to run away. And then Rey gets captured, and he's like, I'm done running away.
Yeah.
And he just has to go and find Rey.
So
and then, even worse, they make him lie his way onto the Death Star. The fate, like, they even put it out, and it's played for comedy. Han Solo's like, the galaxy is counting on us. Like, this place, you lied so that way you could get and find Rey. Like, really? That makes no sense to me. Alright, so it's like, oh yeah, I want to go save my friend, so I'm going to lie about saving the universe so I could get my friend back. It's so stupid. And it's like, why would you do that? No, because you wanted to have a comedy scene? Okay, sure.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things in this movie that could be interesting, but because the sequels are just so disjointed, they never go anywhere. Like the Knights of Ren and Rey's flashback scene and that stuff. I remember being super interested in that back in the day, but it never went anywhere.
There's so many like mystery boxes that got set up. Mystery boxes are good, and they can work out, but most of the time, you can't set up like 5,000 mystery boxes. It's almost like J.J. Abrams was like, all right.
And then not direct the sequel movies.
Exactly. That's the thing. J.J. Abrams was basically like, all right, I'm going to plan all these mystery boxes. Good luck,
then someone else will figure out what the mystery is.
Yeah, they'll figure out what that means. And obviously someone else isn't going to know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And they're going to forget about some stuff.
And someone else is like, oh, I want to do something different. I don't want to do a mystery box.
And then you bring him in again to like... to finish it out because the other guy didn't do what you wanted and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he finished it out.
Oh, yeah, he finished it out with episode 9 anyway. But, yeah, that's just the majority of this movie. Kind of boring characters, boring, like, side stuff. Like, Rey, as we pointed out, Rey is just the girl who wants to help out and be good. And then she has these Force abilities, which a lot of people have issues with her being, like ultra Force sensitive. I never had a huge issue with it, but the thing is, they never actually show a steady progression of her getting better. Like, for example, in A New Hope. So, for example, in A New Hope, Luke Skywalker, like, progresses throughout the story. Like, at the very beginning, he's not that great, but then he, like, starts training with the droid, and then near the end, he helps save the universe with the Death Star. And then the next movie, he starts Force the lightsaber. But in this movie, Rey's just instantly good at everything. Instantly mind tricks that one guard. Go ahead and just force the lightsaber in and to beat Kylo Ren.
In the originals, the Force powers were so much more restrained. Like, it feels like now in the new Star Wars movies, the Force powers are just this all-powerful, instant get-out-of-jail-free card and, like, just destroy the universe level things. But in the originals, it was really like just move an object. It really didn't amount to much.
No, again, like Yoda said, it like the Force is in every living thing. You gain a power. It's never for attack.
It wasn't the
like
ultimate MacGuffin to every situation.
No.
That's not how the Force works.
Yeah.
That is like the one good joke in this movie.
Yeah, that's the one great joke. Oh yeah, we could transfer to that. So this movie has a huge like reliance on Marvel style humor. At least that's what I like to call it.
And the sequel trilogy in general.
Yeah,
does
they
that.
just have a huge like Marvel style humor, which is like
very quippy, fast joke. It doesn't work for Star Wars.
No, the originals, like rewatching. All right, so recently we rewatched all the Star Wars movies, and so during our rewatch, we noticed in this movie and the originals were super funny, but they were funny because they were like the characters were legitimately funny and they made like light and jokes of the situation. Whereas now they're like, oh yeah, he like, for example, in episode 9, they're like, oh yeah, no, you're totally not cheating, and then after he leaves, he's cheating. Get it, audience? That's when you're supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
When in the original, they were just funny because of the situation.
Yeah, the characters were entertaining to watch.
But the situation they were put in.
In this movie, they're really not. No. And that's one of the that's probably like what it all boils down to, because the action scenes in this movie, I think they're pretty good.
They're pretty decent.
The effects are good.
Lightsabers are great.
Yeah, lightsabers are great, and like the sound effects and everything, it's awesome. But there's no weight behind it because you don't care about the people fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, the duel in the forest is neat, but I don't really care about any of the characters involved.
Rey is this person who has no emotions or personality.
I care most about Finn, but he gets dispatched quickly.
Yeah, and then Rey is just kind of the girl, and she just kind of beats him. And then Kylo Ren is just kind of like, meh. Han Solo gets killed. Wow, I cared so much about this character that I used to like in the originals, but in this one he's just kind of
it was shocking, but I didn't really care that much.
Yeah, in this movie he's just kind of like, I'm a grumpy old man, and guess what? I'm back to the Han. They revert back to the Han Solo from episode 4.
He's not horrible, but he's not that amazing, and they didn't do enough to make me care when he died in this movie, because this movie feels so detached from the originals to me. I'm like, it doesn't really feel like that's Han Solo. It feels like it's some other weird interpretation of Han Solo.
Like an alternate timeline because of how similar the movie is. And then Leia is just kind of there. Obviously, Luke doesn't show up until the end. Doesn't even have a line of dialogue. But,
I remember when people were like, oh my goodness, Luke's in this movie because they saw Mark Hamill on the cast list.
Oh, yeah.
And there was all these crazy theories. But no, he's just in a tiny scene at the end.
Yeah, he's just a tiny scene at the end. But, that's basically our issues with the movie. Anything else you want to bring up?
Nope, that seems pretty much...
Oh, yeah, the music. The music...
Oh, yeah, it's good. It's fine, I don't know.
It's good for... Obviously, it's a good Star Wars music, but the thing is...
It doesn't stand out.
It's just, it's not as good as the other ones. Like, the original trilogy, fantastic. The prequels are really great. But the sequels, they're fine.
The music.
They're not amazing. Yeah, the music. not the sequel. No, the prequels are not fantastic, but the music's good. But yeah, that's pretty much it about this movie. That's totally
not a Netflix movie. It's just
not a Netflix movie.
It's not like we despise this movie, but we're just making this video because there's so many people that like this movie, and I'm pretty sure it has a really high score on most critic sites, and most critics give it high scores, and even most audiences like it. I don't know. There's so many people that like this movie. And there's not many people that are saying that it's actually kind of mediocre. So we just wanted to make this video to bring up that we think there's a lot of issues with this movie that people never talk about.
And I think that a lot of people like to blame The Last Jedi and stuff like that. Oh yeah, The Last Jedi.
People act like The Last Jedi is so bad, but it's way better than this movie.
It's way better than this movie, yeah.
Just because there's so much more interesting things in The Last Jedi.
There's like actual legitimate stuff that happens and stuff like that. The characters are interesting. Luke is a fantastic character.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
Everyone will get so mad about that. But yes, Luke is an amazing character in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, and like...
and Kylo Ren's pretty good in The Last Jedi.
Kylo Ren is great in The Last Jedi. Snoke is interesting, even though I do kind of think that it's weird that they killed him off. Or I think that it's kind of weird that they set him up as the mystery box and then like... Again, they took him out
I liked that they killed him. I just wish they had explained it. I mean, they did. They did in episode 9,
Oh,
but
gosh.
it's not the explanation we were wanting.
No, but that's the reason. Like the reason why why The Force Awakens isn't like people don't trash on it is because it doesn't directly influence like the sequels. It feels like episode 1 where like almost nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like so it's just all filler, and then everybody's like, "Oh yeah, those other movies suck." When in reality,
episode
because
1
of
could
this
have been
movie,
a 10-minute flashback in Attack of the Clones.
But the thing is, this movie is so much like has introduces so much stuff that obviously not like nothing would obviously ever live up to the hype and stuff like that, which is why I think I get kind of annoyed when people like blame The Last Jedi and stuff like that, when in reality this movie did set up tons of stuff and was like, oh yeah, here you go, boom, sorry, like you're gonna have to survive without it, and you can't have contact with me or anything like that. Nope, just have fun writing your own Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching this video. Leave your opinion in the comments. Be sure to rage about our opinions on The Last Jedi, because I know everyone has something to say about that movie. So yeah, if you like this video and you didn't get offended by our opinions on The Last Jedi, then you can subscribe and like the video, and then leave a comment arguing with the other people who left comments. Complaining about The Last Jedi.
Saying why we were wrong, but not giving us any like good constructive criticism. Just saying, oh
just
yeah, you're wrong.
F you, you're wrong.
Wow, thanks.
Wow, that really helped you vent your anger, huh?
All right, well, bye guys.
Well, bye. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.